This story is written for children's bedtime stories. A small lonely bird flew through the trees. No friends, no name, all covered in fleas. Along the way he met a dove and politely asked, as you should, "May I have a white feather or two, so I can look as beautiful as you?" The dove began to laugh out loud, then replied,
"Don't be stupid, you're ugly and brown. Ask someone else, you silly clown."
The little bird held his head in shame and flew to the skies alone again. Days went by, then he met a duck and politely asked, as you should, "Will you teach me how to swim and waddle, so I can play like you in the puddles?" The duck began to splash with laughter, then replied,
"Go away, you little bore. You're far too ugly and much too small."
The bird shrugged his shoulders and gently sighed. As he flew through the mountains, you could hear his cries. Weeks went by as he searched in vain to find a friend who could give him a name. Along the way he met a hawk and politely asked, as you should, "Will you teach me how to fly with strength, so I can catch the largest ant?" At this the hawk stretched his powerful neck, then replied,
"I'd eat you, only you're covered in dirt. Go away, you filthy bird."
As the sun began to set, his eyes filled with tears alone again. Months went by, and his heart grew weary. The world to him seemed lonely and eerie. Then he met a hummingbird, and politely asked, as you should, "Will you give me some of your charm, so I can find a friend of my own?" The hummingbird whispered in his ear,
"I won't waste my time on you, dear. Who could possibly want to stay with you? You're covered in fleas and you're ugly too."
The bird lowered his little head and cried out loud, "I need a friend." The years drifted. He had no friend to love. The poor little bird, he was about to give up. He sat on a branch, his soul torn apart, and cried out loud, "Does anyone want a bird with a broken heart?" It was then he met a wise old owl, who told him of a man with a heart of gold. He said,
"Fly to the hill, just 12 miles away. Tell him you're lonely and you need a name. He will be one true friend. Go now, before this day does end."
For 12 solid miles he flew non-stop. With his heart full of hope, he knew he couldn't give up. When he reached his destination, the man with the golden heart was taken. The people crowned his head in thorns and cheered as they tore away his clothes. The little bird wept, "What have you done? This man was to be my one true friend." The little bird pulled with all his might to free the man they crucified. The nails were stuck very tight, yet the man looked across and simply smiled. Then in a gentle voice he said,
"Don't cry for me, my newfound friend."
The man looked at his blood upon the little bird's breast, then said,
"One small favour of you I ask. Carry my mark upon your breast to remind my people of what they did. Robin Redbreast is your new name. Live for me and carry my stain."
A silent promise was made that day, and throughout the centuries he's carried that stain. At winter time and summer too, little Robin Redbreast will sing for you. He has flown throughout the centuries and will go far beyond this day. He carries the stain of Jesus Christ so we don't lose our way. At Christmas time he sings a song and holds his chest out proud. He's the only bird I know with a heart of solid gold.